I'm about to reveal the exact steps for you to be able to start a consulting business by leveraging your current experience. And the beautiful thing about this breakdown is that you're going to be able to take the steps that I'm giving you and be able to start this business while you're still working your 9 to 5. This is going to work for you if you have never started a business before, you have no idea where to start, or if you're that person that's been sitting on the fence, you might have launched a business before, it didn't work out, you had to double back and start over again. Either way, no matter where you are, this is going to be a useful strategy that you can use to actually build and start your consulting business this year. Let's get it. What's up, family? Welcome to another episode of the Grind Season Show, where we break down the strategies, the tactics, the resources, the game plan for you to be able to build a 6-figure online business that you can operate while you're still working your 9 to 5. Now, today I'm going to break down the 6 steps that you are going to take to be able to build and launch your consulting business. And before we get started, before we jump into the exact steps that you want to take, I do want to break down what exactly is a consulting business. And it's a pretty simple definition. A lot of people overcomplicate it, but it's pretty simple. A consultant is someone that leverages their expertise to solve problems. When you think about it, it is a pretty wide definition because technically it's something that any situation where you are leveraging your experience to be able to help someone solve a problem, you are a consultant. I think a lot of people overcomplicate it. They try to say, oh, this is a coach, this is a consultant. Well, in most scenarios, what you find is most people actually use the term coach and consultant side by side, right? But the reality is consultant just seems to be a more professional term to use, and a lot of people like leveraging the term consultant because typically you're helping other businesses, right? So if you go to a corporation and you're like, hey, I'm a coach that helps you do this, you know, a corporation is going to look at you like, we don't really need a coach. But if you come and say you're a consultant, even though you're technically doing similar things, the consultant is just going to come off a little bit more professional, and a lot of people are going to engage with it in a professional setting. Now, your role as a consultant is very simple. There's someone who is at point A and they want to get to point B. The issue is when they try to get to point B, there are a lot of challenges that is blocking them from being able to do so. Maybe they don't know what to do, or maybe if they try to do it, they're going to have to deal with a lot of complicated things that they might not be able to handle, right? So you as a consultant, your responsibility is to take them from that point A to that point B in the easiest manner possible. It's that simple, y'all. The reason that I can talk to you about how to become a consultant is because I have been running my consulting business for a few years. And just recently, we actually scaled to $50,000 per month, which is a beautiful achievement that we've been able to make. We've been scaling really, really fast. A lot of people always ask me, how did you start your business? Can you give me the strategies to be able to start my business, right? And over the past few years, we've helped a ton of people actually grow their coaching and consulting business. And today we're going to jump into the foundation, the step-by-step process that you need to do to actually launch your consulting business yourself. So let's jump into step 1. Step 1 is all about identifying what is your superpower? What is your unique skill set that you're going to be able to actually leverage to help someone get results? Now, for me, when I first started off, I actually leveraged my experience from my corporate job to be able to start my consulting business. In corporate, I was basically doing process improvement. I would step into a department and help pretty much clean up the processes so that way it could either be automated or outsourced. Also help clean performance management, things like that, right? And what ended up happening was I realized that the same things that I was doing at my 9 to 5, I can actually do that for my own business and do it for other businesses. You know, a lot of people don't realize that small business owners aren't able to afford to pay a full-time resource to come in and work for their business, but they will pay for someone to come in and help them solve problems. So when you are starting your consulting business, I need you to understand there's a huge demand for your skill set. Over 99% of the businesses in the US are small businesses. And we always think about the large corporations, but guess what? Those large corporations account for less than 1% of the businesses in the US, meaning those small business owners that need your assistance, there's a huge demand for you to come and solve problems for those small business owners. I like to start at my 9 to 5, right? What are the processes that you are doing at your 9 to 5 that can potentially help a small business? And I like to think of it from a process because even if you have done at least one process, one project in corporate, you can apply that to doing it for a small business and help them be able to get results. So the first first thing that you want to do is identify what is your superpower. Where are you knowledgeable at? Is it accounting? Is it finance? Is it human resources, right? Is it operations? Is it project management? There's a ton of different areas in business, and no matter what experience you have, there is potential for you to convert that into a superpower that you can use to help another small business get results. Now let's jump into the next step, step number 2, which is going to be about finding your niche. You need to find a specific person or business that you are going to want to help. Now here's the thing, this is the mistake that most people make because they listen to all the gurus online. You have to find a niche, but it's going to take time for you to find your niche. A lot of people try to just come out and say, hey, I am focused on this specific type of person, which is really good in the long run. But the reality is you might start working for that individual or with that individual and realize that you might not like it. And then honestly, it's all about supply and demand. A lot of times people will come to you and ask for your services, and just because they're not necessarily that niche, especially when you're starting off, just because they're not that niche doesn't mean that you should just deny them, right? When you're first starting off, it's really important to just start getting some type of experience. When I first started off, I had no idea what niche I really wanted to target, right? And so I started focusing on a specific niche. But what ended up happening was other individuals started coming because I started posting, content on social media and things like that. I did not deny those people the opportunity to work with me. And the reason was because I was just starting off. I didn't even know what niche I wanted to go after, right? It is very important to at least identify a type of person that you do want to go after, simply because when it comes to figuring out what exactly you want to do for that individual, how you communicate with that individual, it makes it a lot easier for you to be able to have those conversations because you're pretty much prepared to talk to that specific person. One of the reasons that a lot of people can't grow their business is because they try to target everyone. They go too general. And guess what? When you go too general, you sound just like everyone else. But when you niche down, you get very specific with who you're talking to. You start to speak a language that resonates with that person that really will drive a much better conversation for that person to want to work with you. Now, a lot of people say, how do I figure out what niche I want to work with? All right. So here is what I suggest. We're in a new time, y'all. Right now, when I'm recording this, it's 2024. Use AI, use ChatGPT is one of the easiest ways for me to pretty much figure out everything that I want to do that I can't figure out. So here's exactly what you are going to do in ChatGPT for you to be able to figure out what is the niche that you should be targeting. And here we go. So I just hit it just like this, y'all. I go into ChatGPT and I literally type, I am a corporate professional that is an expert in human resources. My responsibility as a human resources specialist is to handle onboarding, is to handle payroll, is to do performance management. Whatever you do at your 9 to 5, literally list it out in ChatGPT and say, this is what I do. And then the next thing you're going to say is you're going to say, I need your help to identify a business niche that I should be working with that can leverage my current experience to be able to get results. Listen, y'all, I guarantee you, you put that into ChatGPT, it is literally going to spit out exactly what you're looking for. It's going to identify 10 to 20, even 50 different businesses that is looking to work with people like you. All right. So I just want you to understand the niche that you work with the first time, you are not stuck with that niche for life. But I do want you to go out, get that experience, because look, some experience is better than no experience, and waiting and sitting on the sideline trying to wait on that perfect moment is only going to prevent you from progressing. All right, let's jump into step number 3, right? We know what our superpower is. We know who it is that we're going to help. But now the next thing we got to figure out is we have to create our consulting framework. We got to figure out what it is that we are going to do to build results for the person that we want to work with. Now, a lot of people kind of skip this. When they talk about how to start a consulting business, they never talk about how you actually get your client result. I think a lot of people just keep it super high level and give you the kind of standard things. But what I'm going to do on this step is really tell you exactly how you handle providing the service to the person that you want to work with. And if you plan this out the right way, you are going to create so much confidence in your conversations when it comes to showing that you can provide consulting services to someone. And it's a very, very simple framework. Do not overcomplicate it. Here is what it comes down to. So you are helping a specific person go from point A to point B, right? When it comes to taking that person from point A to point B, you want to identify the 3 phases, the 3 big steps that you are helping them achieve in order to get that result, right? And that's why it's very important to get clear on where your person is that you want to work with, where they are right now and where they want to go, because now you can identify what is the 3 big steps that I have to help them take in order to get that result. So now you have the 3 phases of your consulting framework. The next thing you want to do is you want to identify the 3 steps of each of those phases. So now what's going to happen is for phase 1, you have 3 clear steps. For phase 2, 3 clear steps. Phase 3, you have 3 clear steps. And now guess what? You have a 9-step process that you are using to take someone from point A to point B to be able to get them results. And now just from doing this simple exercise, you now know exactly what it is that you need to do to provide results to your client. And now it's going to be really simple to have those conversations, to show and be super confident in how you're going to provide results to people. But in the next few steps, I'm actually going to help you actually even gain more confidence to be able to deliver your service as a consultant. Now let's jump into the next step. This step is all about setting up your infrastructure, which is basically just getting organized. There's going to be 2 types of tools that you need to get when you are launching your consulting business. The first tool is you need to sign up for Google Workspace. Now the cool thing about signing up for Google Workspace is it's going to be able to handle a few things for you. The first thing that you're going to be able to do is you're going to be able to purchase a domain for your website when you launch your consulting business. It's very important to be able to have a domain because you come off as professional. People will actually trust you a lot more just because you do have a domain that goes with the name of your consulting business, right? So now you're able to say, hey, my consulting business, visit my website, www.mcgeeconsulting.com, right? And on top of being able to have your domain where you can host your website, what you can also do with this domain inside of Google Workspace is actually set up your professional email. Email is going to be one of the main channels that you use to communicate with your client. So you want to be professional. You don't want to write people and say, hey, Adrian@gmail.com. That is not professional to have a Gmail while communicating with potential clients, right? So you want to have your domain. You can get all of that on Google Workspace. The next thing about Google Workspace is you also want to leverage Google Drives. With Google Drives, you're not going to have to deal with buying things like Microsoft Word, Excel, and things like that. The beautiful thing about Google Workspace and Google Drive is that it gives you Google Sheets, it gives you Google Docs, and these items are free, right? So you don't have to pay any subscription, and is going to have cloud storage. So that way you're going to be able to store all your documents, everything that you need to run your business. You want to make sure you're organized with your paperwork. By having a Google Drive, you'll be able to have that place to put your client files, your business information, anything that you need, you're going to be able to store it in the Google Drive. And the Google Drive tools are free, but Google Workspace is only about $6 a month right now. So you definitely want to get that. Now, the next thing you're going to need in addition to Google Workspace is you're going to want to get a client relationship management tool, better known as a CRM. And with the CRM, this is essentially going to be your toolkit for you to be able to operate and run your consulting business. It's going to be how you invoice customers. It's going to be how you manage all of the contacts of your business. And the cool thing is most CRMs actually have a place for you to actually build what we call sales funnels or websites directly in the CRM. If you need a CRM, I strongly suggest for you guys to book a demo for our CRM that's actually made for business coaches and consultants called Systems Excel. If you looked at the link in the description, you'll be able to book a completely free demo, hop on a call with the team, and they'll be able to show you our CRM that actually comes with a lot of cool things, such as we have coaching sessions every Thursday that you'll be able to hop on live with. You can actually copy and paste the systems that we use for clients that we've generated millions of dollars for. You can actually copy those same systems and have that same infrastructure. So if you need a CRM, make sure you look at the link in the description and you book a demo to learn more about it. All right, so that wraps up your infrastructure. Those are going to be the tools that you want to have when you are starting and launching your consulting business. All right, you are ready to go. You have your CRM, you have your framework, you have who you're going to work with, you know your superpower, you are ready to go. So the next thing that you need to do is you need to get case studies, all right? Now, most people will tell you to go out and go get a high ticket client, go find someone to pay you thousands and thousands of dollars for your services. Look, you're brand new. You probably never even delivered this service before, so don't take it personal. You're probably not that good yet, and that is completely okay. And that is why you want to start off with getting case study clients. And one of the biggest things that I tell people to do is leverage your personal network. See if you are friends with anyone who owns a business. If you don't have any friends that own a business, find a friend that knows a friend that owns a business, right? You're at a point where you could have a more structured conversation. You have, your CRM, you have a domain, you have a framework that you can talk about, right? So you're at a point where you can start having more conversations about providing services. And I believe that your first few clients, you should not go out and try to hit the home run when you first start off. And the reality is nothing wrong with charging a little bit less or even doing it for free until you get some case studies and get real results. When I first started my consulting business, I was not charging nearly as much as I wanted to, but I seen it as a sacrifice that I needed to make to be able to get the social proof for people to be able to trust me, because they seen that I was able to deliver the service because I had proof. In fact, the first person that I ever helped with my consulting business was actually my friend. It was actually my business partner. I helped him with his business, got a case study, got a review, and now it was really, really easy to start getting more clients. And let me give you a really big key to all of this. Business owners hang out with other business owners. Like-minded individuals hang out with other individuals who are just like them, right? So if you provide service to someone, let's say it's free or let's say it's really cheap. If you provide service to someone and you help them get results, they are more than happy to refer you to someone else that you're going to be able to help. And guess what? You don't even have to sell them because they trust the person that's referring you. It's probably their friend or someone that's in their network. So I really suggest that once you are ready to go get some case studies, go get some social proof, and go get some experience. The reality is you're probably not that good yet. You will become good, but not yet. So go get some case studies, go do some work potentially for free or at a lower price, whatever it takes for you to get that social proof. All right, y'all, here is the last step that you want to do to be able to launch your consulting business. So you have your case studies. The next step is going to be to leverage those case studies to go get more clients. All right. Now, I always tell people, don't go out and pay for ads and do all these things that a lot of these gurus will try to tell you, not really understanding your situation. What you want to do is, since you finally have case studies, now you can go in and take it to the next level. You can go out and actually make more outreach. You can reach out to people. You can start running paid ads. You can start doing these different things and start acquiring more clients because you now have the social proof and the confidence to be able to deliver. A lot of people think that you are getting social proof for people to trust you, right? Which is 100% true. People do need to see your case studies to be able to trust you. But when you start getting case studies and you start getting people real results, you actually start gaining confidence as well. You start to believe in yourself a lot more. And when you start having those conversations with people about how you can provide some type of result to them, when you actually have that social proof, you start to carry a certain type of confidence that people can see, and then they start to really understand and believe and trust that you are going to be able to provide them results. So y'all, that is the keys. Those are going to be the steps that you're going to take to be able to start your consulting business. First thing you're going to do is you're going to identify your superpower. What is it that you know that can help other people get results? Number two, you're going to go out and find your niche. We have a hack. We can use ChatGPT to basically take our experience and figure out what type of businesses that we're able to help. Once we know that business we want to help, we jump into step number three. We break down our consulting framework. What are those three phases that we are using to take a customer or a prospect from point A to point B? Then we jump into number four. We got to set up our infrastructure, right? We got to go get Google Workspace. We have to go get our CRM system to be able to actually have the toolkit to perform and execute our consulting business. And then after that, we got to go get some case studies. And once we have those case studies, the final step is to leverage those case studies to go get more clients, y'all. So look, that just about wraps us up. If you got any type of value from it, make sure that you like and subscribe. We're dropping these bangers every single week, y'all. Now, here's the thing. On the last few episodes, we broke down the 4 secrets for you to be able to scale a 6-figure business online, right? So we got a little deeper here and focus just on the consulting business. But if you want the overall view of being able to scale your consulting business to 6 figures, make sure you go back and check out those other videos, y'all. There is a link in the description for you to be able to get access to our completely free course. So make sure you take advantage of that. I'll see you on the other side.